are somebody who is always looking for, that extra reason to smile, that extra reason to be positive, then here's a book that may certainly be for you. Actually, no, it's also for you if you're a negative Nelly who's constantly what am I talking about? I'm talking about the book Speak Life into Existence by Honest P. Mukwenya. And joining me to talk about this is our resident bookworm, Audrey Chirenje. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning,
How are you?
Candace. I love the dress.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So do I. It's my favorite. Don't tell my other clothes. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Speak Life into Existence. That's an interesting title for the book.
It is. It is. And what's even more interesting is the author is only 19 years old.
Oh.
He's an upper sixth student in Kwekwe. And already he's got another book called Get Serious. He's an award-winning author, speaker, entrepreneur.
He really is speaking his life into existence, isn't he?
Definitely he
Wow,
is.
using the power of words. Now, Speak Life into Existence, to me, is definitely one of those that looks at pointing more and focusing more on positivity. Am I on the right track?
Yes, you are on the right track. And also what's interesting about this book, you know how we always talk about Zimbabwean motivational writers, quoting the Bible, quoting other famous authors from America, the UK. This one, he's quoting a lot of our local authors.
Oh.
So that's actually very interesting. So I think we're doing a good thing because now the people know to quote their own people and not other people.
Remember, I did get excited about that last time when you were quoting Sunyati and Samantha and the likes. And I was like, it's nice to have references that we know, references we can actually relate to. And what that says to me also is that he's very well read, very well locally read, especially because at 19, what was I reading? I was reading Nancy Drew. I think I'd grown out of Nancy Drew. I was probably in the Stephen King phase and the likes. And I don't remember at that point, apart from the set books in school, I don't remember actually looking for any local authors. So this is very, very encouraging.
Yeah, that was just like me. I was probably in the Mills and Boone, Jackie Collins, Judith Gold phase, but definitely nothing local except the local literature books.
All right. Now, tell us a bit more about this book.
Okay, so he speaks about his own personal experiences, and then he also speaks about other people's experiences. He obviously got permission to do that. So I find it a very relevant book because more often, we talk about the good things, the nice things, but like the one example, he speaks about one person who couldn't write his A-level results because the mother was struggling to pay fees, and then he was promised some sponsorship which never materialized, but he did not sit there and just cry. He just chose the next best alternative, which was a teaching qualification, and he went for it. And years later on, he then advanced his education, and now he works in the NGO world. So that is actually very profound.
Wow. And we do have a lot of those moments on a day-to-day where something happens that derails you. You feel as though you were promised something and it doesn't come through, and it kind of sets you off a little bit. So I guess that would be a really good reminder to say, hey, look, you really are in charge of your life and how you move forward. And there will be setbacks, but if you pick yourself up, then really you are on an upward trajectory either way.
Yes. And another point, one chapter is titled You versus You.
Oh.
I like that one because more often, this modern generation, of social media, Instagram, TikTok, people are always comparing to the next best thing. But he's saying at the end of it all, it's you versus you. So you choose where you want to go. You choose how to progress. You choose how to advance.
No, which is very, very true. A you versus you. That's actually quite profound. Because every day we go around and people are saying, no, you are your biggest competition, and no, you should be better than you. And this literally is a race between you and you. Are you better than the you that was there yesterday? Which you are you heading towards? 19 years old, you said?
19 years old. And also, even the whole about quoting other people, he's got his own little group where he calls himself MKai Quotes. So he writes his own quotes as well. You know how we like posting other people's quotes. What about writing your own quotes? And he's doing that, and he's inspiring his generation. So I think he's actually a very admirable young fella.
Oh, certainly. Definitely worth picking up and looking into. And just... I'm speechless. I really am, because the kind of things that he's touching on and the level of wisdom that I'm seeing even before I've read the book is something I'm expecting from somebody a lot older. Do you have any background into his life growing up, for example?
No, he only, like the first chapter, he just puts an acknowledgement and he thanks his parents for always believing in him, even when the dream didn't make sense. And for me, that was actually very, very special, because more often it takes a lot to have children who are creatives, who are in the arts industry. Most people don't understand that.
Yep.
They want you to go and do nursing law and accounts. But if a child says, I want to do media, I want to write books, most parents frown upon that.
The bombastic side, eh? Now, who's reading this, Audrey?
This is everyone. Everyone, even younger than 19, they should read it, right up unto the adults. Everyone should be reading this.
Key lessons?
Key lessons, we've got purpose. You need to know why you were put on this earth. And then the power of our words, self-belief, working hard. He says working hard is better than talent. He's got that in this whole chapter. And I actually agree. I know it's a debate which people will find subjective, but we know of musicians, even in our own country, who are not that talented vocally wise, but because they hustle, they push hard, they get a manager to manage their brand, they end up doing the most and getting paid for it, versus someone with actual talent. Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm honestly impressed. I had to do that. I had to. This is definitely a book that we all should be picking up. I think, and it's an forward by Dr. Marjorie Chipato. I've interacted with Marjorie.
Yes.
Also quite a very interesting character to interact with. And what... Just before I let you go, what is this forwarding that people like to? Because I think it's now the third book I've seen with a forward. Like, what's that?
Okay, so it's an international concept, obviously, but the idea is, like you're saying, you know Marjorie. So if you know Marjorie, and then you see that the book has a forward by Marjorie, you obviously then subscribe to the book. So it's a way of marketing the book. It's a way of, there are even a couple of other endorsements from famous authors in there, your Ralph Kaduri. So it just sets pace to what you can find in the book, because people are not going to endorse or write a forward to a book which is
don't believe in.
Exactly.
Oh, love it. That's an interesting. I'd always meant to ask about that, so that's very interesting. Where do we find this book?
Direct from the author and also the publisher at Camber. He's based here in Harare. You can get a copy.
All right. Please do get your hands on a copy of the book, Speak Life into Existence by Honest Mukwenya. That is a 19-year-old author. Where did you say he's based?
Kwekwe.
In Kwekwe. Wow. Like, I'm impressed. Honest, when you're in Harare, please do hit us up and let's sit down and let's dig deeper into your very fascinating mind. But we also do wish him the best, and we will be grabbing our copies of this book, Speak Life into Existence. Audrey, thank you.
Thank you, Candace.
We'll see you next week.